Hello everyone, this is Jason from Arvy Realty. I'm here with our broker from Arvy, Hector. He just wanted to give you guys like a little story of how he got involved in the business, real estate. So Hector, how's it going today, man?
Really good, thank you.
Great having you. So I know you've been in the business for a long time now.
Yes.
How was it, man? How did everything started?
Well, it's fun, and if I have to do it again, I will do it all over again.
Yeah, great.
What I mean by that is that we have a very exciting career when we help people and we help people find solutions to the problem. We are able to get a lot of results.
Great, yeah. So how you've been in the business for how long now? You said
20 years.
20 years, wow. Now, so you started back in when the whole thing was going on crazy with the market, right? Around the recession time.
Well, I started before that.
Before,
but I was enjoying that part, and then very soon, 2007, everything came crashing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
Very good question. It was really, really tough.
Gotcha.
Especially because I was an agent in 2002.
Okay.
And then I decided in the middle of the economic crisis to open up my own office, which is Arvy.
Gotcha. So this was
2008.
Middle of the crisis, you decided to open an office.
Yes.
All right.
And keep in mind that in that particular moment, there was like 25 offices closing, and I was opening up.
So while everyone was closing their offices, you decided to open up your own office. Okay.
Yes.
So how did it go? I'm thinking that was like a crazy thing since everyone was like quitting, everyone was like closing down their businesses, and while all of that was happening, you decided to open your own. How did it go? Like, was it a good start? Was it a bad start? Well, how do you handle that?
I can tell you it was tough.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
tough.
I can tell, for sure.
Yes, but on the long term, that made a difference with me.
Okay.
Because it prepared me for something that I can handle anything. It made me more disciplined. It made me more creative. I had to become more strategically when it comes to make decisions. It took those few years taught me really, really good lessons. Because to tell you those things that I tell you, also how to manage money, how to keep the business open, because even there was no business going on, the bank was not lending.
Right. True.
We had more than 9,000 foreclosures in the area. It's almost everybody.
Man. Crazy.
We have a lot of foreclosures, so we have a lot of problems, but that made me tough, made me competitive, made me disciplined. And that was the foundation to my success.
Right. So not only were you learning, how to manage your own office, but you were at the same time you were learning how to handle money, teach other agents. All of this while everything was like crashing down.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't take any business classes.
Right.
I hardly speak English. I have no family support.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like my father was there to give me guidance or anything. I just jumped. It was a very risky move.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell. If it in the middle of recession, I can tell that was definitely a risk move.
Well, I have to tell you, there was one moment that I had to make a decision if I was going to close the office because I didn't have money to pay the bills, or file bankruptcy, or just disappear from the planet, because I didn't want it. I mean, I was ashamed of going into something and 6 months later not having enough money to keep the door open.
So that brings me to the next question, because since all of this was happening, what was your strategy? Like, I know that I'm not sure if most people wanted to sell their houses or not sell their houses, or nobody wanted to buy houses. So what was the strategy? How were you making money at the time?
Very good question. My strategy was to get as many listings as possible.
Okay. So at the time, people were selling. They wanted to sell their houses.
Well, the thing is this, that a lot of people were losing their houses.
Okay, so they were losing their houses.
They were losing their houses.
Right. So I know that before, a few years before, prices were really like inflated as well, like kind of like now.
We had similar situation.
Okay. All right.
On those times, because we have 80-20 loans that everybody was buying 100% financing all the stuff. Different on the financing part now, but the inflated price was the same. So we have a lot of people that they don't want to deal with the pressures of the bank harassing them and everything, so they wanted to sell.
Okay.
Problem is this, that they owe this and the market was here. So we have to learn a new skill, which is how to short sell the house.
Right. Okay. So that was a strategy.
Yes.
It was mostly getting short sale listings.
Short sale listing, and at the long run, that was one of my first opportunities, because once I learned how to negotiate short sales, I got a couple of friends that offered me financing to buy some of the properties, and I started to do some short sales. And then some opportunities there, but was still not, that was like after 1 or 2 years suffering, meaning in 2010, that was 2 years, 2008. So that means that I have to put up my own money to keep my office open for the first year and a half at least.
Gotcha. Okay. So this was the start of how you became a millionaire. This was like the first step, you will say.
Well, that was, I started, how I became a millionaire, I started by suffering and not giving up. Because I probably end up working at the restaurant like I used to do before working in real estate.
So you used to work at a restaurant before?
Yeah, I used to work in a restaurant. I did many jobs.
Okay. Now this is good. I like this because there's definitely a lot of people out there that can relate. They probably have a job, that they don't like, and thinking about the next step, maybe moving into whether it's real estate or another business that is similar to it.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted to kind of put this out there and give a little story.
Well.
Now, but I like that. So I like that you share that with us. So you used to work at a restaurant. Now you're in real estate. You open your own office. You have the strategy of getting short sale listings. Now, how long did it take for the market to start balancing out a little bit after that whole craziness was going on?
Well, I would say after 2012. So it's like 4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
It was still a lot of foreclosure. Because Obama created a program that a lot of homeowners get to qualify for a modification.
Okay. So this is when the modification started getting popular.
Yes.
After the recession.
We didn't do modification. I didn't want to get involved on that. We get involved on short sales. Or if they can save the house, they can save it. We didn't work on that.
Yeah.
But that was the part. And one of the things I can tell you is that my strategy was to get listing.
Right. Okay.
That was my strategy. I don't care if it was short sale, regular sale, whatever it was. My goal is to get listing all the time, because if I have 100 listings, I knew that I'm going to sell at least 2 or 3 a month.
Okay.
Because
so there was no problem with the buying part. There was no people were buying houses.
Well, there was a big problem because the banks, they were going under. They were not lending that much money.
Oh, okay.
So the buying population was very small.
So banks weren't doing loans.
Yes.
Gotcha. Wow. So there wasn't as many people buying houses. Now, how did it go with all these listings that you had? Were you able to sell them? What happened?
Well, this is just a numbers game.
Okay.
And meaning that I had a lot of them, they never sell.
Gotcha.
A lot of them, the homeowners say, I want to do refinance, they do bankruptcy, whatever they do, we end up, we didn't sell it, but I have always, my goal was to get listing. That's what I learned from that if I get listing, I'd be able to survive no matter what, how the economy was.
Now, what do you think was like another step that you took that kept you on your path, to become a millionaire?
Well, another strategy, first of all, was my own psychology, meaning that I didn't allow anybody, I didn't watch news, even though everybody was saying all this bad news, I didn't let that. So my psychology was that I'm going to make it or I will die trying. So I'm going to be successful. And I used to tell myself, if somebody is making money, I'm going to be making money too. And I was pushing through. I used to work, I still work a lot of hours. And also, I started to get more agents to come to join me. And I was lucky to get a few successful agents to come to join my office. And then we start to grow even more because at least we were, not only myself was going every day getting listing and helping people, but I have other agent working with me.
Gotcha, okay. Back to you said the mentality. I like that topic, and kind of brought another question. Because what do you think from the perspective, that we come from, like our parents come from, it's not, most of them, they didn't have this the same mentality that we're open to now, What do you think of that? Like, because it's a little hard to be able to explain it to people that never had any businesses, and by that kind of people I mean like even my parents, a lot of other people that are thinking of like being a real estate agent or any other entrepreneur kind of thing. What do you think of that? I mean, how could you work on that, to keep that mentality and kind of like, I don't know if I should say convince the people around you to support you on that,
Well, that's a very good question because I have a lot of people, they rather go to work on a daily basis, they don't want to spend.
Okay.
How I differentiate myself, I am open-minded.
Right. Yeah, I think that's like really important in this business. Just be open-minded.
Yeah.
To do anything.
Well, if you see through history, the people who are more open-minded, risk-taker, they become successful.
Right.
And as long as you do the right thing, you last on the business. Real estate is not like a quick way to get wealthy, but if you work hard and systematically and you educate yourself, you become very, very
strong. Yeah, I just think it's like a really tough mentality because the way we've been taught it's different. It's a little hard sometimes to keep it and to motivate yourself or keep using that mentality because we don't get the support that we would like to have, Most people are set to, like you said, just work a 9 to 5, not really so much about doing your own business. Things like that. Because, I just found it really interesting because you said that's like another strategy you use. It was the mentality. I honestly thought you were going to say something else, but I like that. I like the
well, don't get me wrong. I even mention all the parts, but for me, it's my self-talk, my affirmation to tell you that I always have something that I'm gonna make it happen regardless whatever obstacle I find. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna put my best. And talking about family, I never had the support.
Okay.
My father or my family never saw real estate as a business, as a career. They used to tell me because when I started in real estate, I was a total disaster. I didn't sell anything the first month. I mean, the first year, I was like a disaster, and I used to come every day. And my parents was telling me, look, your brother is making close to $2,000 at the restaurant, and you're wasting your time, your family is suffering, and you are just wasting your time. You're like, you should get a real job.
Okay.
And I was like, no, but I promise something good is coming. That's what, but because within myself, there was some doubt, because I was saying to him, what have I done wrong? And after a year, 2 years.
So, okay, yeah.
So
But that was your parents making you doubt about your
Correct,
decisions,
correct.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
And the funny thing is this, after I start to make money, my father used to tell me, look, don't cheat on people. I'll say, I never cheat on people, I do straight business. But after that, I get the respect. I mean, they start to believe, because they start to see that I start buy properties, I start to get more.
They start seeing results.
Yeah, I start to see the result. But at the beginning was really, really tough.
All right, so this is all. It's really good. I like that you share all of this with us. Now I do have one last question, and this is for the people out there that are probably thinking, making the move, making a decision of starting in real estate. What advice can you give them? What's something that should give them that extra push that they need to make it happen?
I have to tell you that the best advice that I can give you is this: is you feel that you deserve more, if you see yourself as a winner, as a successful person, that you care for your family, that you have what it takes to be a very good real estate agent. If I could do it, you can do it. If I can make it happen, you can make it happen. And at the end, you got nothing to lose. You try, if you have passion to help people, because if you like to help people, you're made for this business. That's my recommendation. If you feel that you want to make a little more money, come to us. Give us a call and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, I mean, just like JB said, this is the people business, not sales business.
Exactly. I
love it. All right.
Thank you very much.
Great.
There you go.
Now I'm going to cut it.